Hello, hello. Welcome for another episode of the Author Spotlight. Hey, it's your host with the most, your man, Darren M. Palmer. So excited to be with you today for another episode. Man, we have a treat today. We got my guy, the good doctor himself, Marcus W. Johnson, who is an assistant professor in the Department of Curriculum and Instruction at Texas State University in San Marcos, Tejas. For those who need to brush up on your Texas history there, that's for Texas. He completed his Ph.D. in Cultural Studies and Education at the University of Texas at Austin. He received his BA in Political Science and M.Ed. in School Counseling from Texas Christian University, TCU. Before pursuing graduate degrees, he enjoyed positions as a public school teacher and a congressional liaison. Dr. Johnson's research interests include creative approaches to empowering students, educators, and communities through education. Born and raised in H-Town, aka Houston, Texas, MJ is the author of B through Y, the Underdog's process of seizing opportunity, control, and respect. Researching individuals, companies, sports teams, and nations considered underdogs yet succeeding, this book emphasizes the process of one's ascension. This book highlights specific characteristics and actions that can help ordinary underdogs accomplish their extraordinary dreams and goals. I shared a little bit about your bio, Dr. Johnson, man, but I want to welcome you to the show, and anything that I left out, please fill in the gaps to our audience.
Nah, we're good, man. That was an incredible introduction. Like somebody I love to follow, Dr. Nellie Fuller says, "I'm still learning. In spite of all those things, I'm still learning."
Man, that's exciting, man, to know that you're still learning. Man, I want you to speak to us, man, when it comes to this book, Be Through Why, the Underdog's process of seizing opportunity, control, and respect. Why this book as your first book?
That's right. Well, man, I had been researching books for a while. I was very heavy into the self-development world. Would read and follow people online, and there was something in me that just kept thinking like there's something that you have to say, there's something that you need to put out in the world. And many times when I would read certain books, I started not only just reading them but looking at how they were structured, and also looking and imagining what I would put here, what I would put there, or I would have said it this way, or I would have said it that way. And so it was almost like giving birth to something that was already in me. And so after a while, I just started saying, you know what, man, I need to put together my own book, because in many ways, I felt that self-development, in a lot of ways, looked outside of yourself for something that was already in you. And so what I wanted to do was focus on, regardless of your situation, I wanted you to focus on working from the approach of inside out, looking within yourself and the people around you, and then taking what you had and working from there.
I love it. And when I look at this, MJ, I think to myself, because I identified with that. I was a part of a group when I grew up called the Underdogs back in the day. And so I
man, okay, talk about it. All right.
Yeah. So, but at the same time, it wasn't a positive, so, but at the same time, we was looking at it the wrong way. And what I mean, it had some good things about it. Don't get me wrong, I don't want to act like it was just totally negative, but at the same time, but using that to succeed and to be a catalyst to go higher and to help other people. And that's what you've been able to do in this book. And so I want you to share with us, it's one thing to say I want to write a book, but then it's another thing of getting it done. So what made you believe that you could write a book when so many had failed at the task?
That's right. The author From Good to Great, Jim Collins, talked about private victories lead to public victories. And so in a lot of ways, man, I would write just little things for work, and people would say, man, you're a really good writer. You're a really good writer. And so I just started thinking about, well, how can I expand this? And so for a second, I was like, well, let me see about writing a book. And what do I know about that I can contribute some knowledge to? So my first book was actually an ebook that talked about this, how to succeed in college. And it didn't sell much or go out to many people, but the people who did receive it gained valuable information from it. So that small little example, that small little tidbit or sample size gave me the confidence to be like, well, if I can write something like this, then I can write something larger. And from that point, I just went on to completing the book.
Don't despise the day of small beginnings. That's what I'm getting at is MJ. You know, that's what I'm getting at is because it's about momentum. And, you know, I just want to use, though, for those who, I want to use a sports analogy right now. You know, it's not all about just seeing if you can hit a quick strike touchdown all the time. You know, just keep the chains moving. For those who are familiar with football or whatnot, keep getting first downs. If you keep getting first downs, you're going to end up in the end zone. You'll end up having a touchdown. And so that's what I want those who are listening to what MJ is sharing with us of the importance of the small win. It might be, can I get that sentence wrote? Can I get to a paragraph? How can I get to a few pages? Oh, whoa, wait a minute. I got a chapter done. Whoa, I had 8. Now I'm halfway there. I'm at 4. Before you know it, you got a rough draft. You got a manuscript. So you don't have to have it all figured out all at once. And another thing, stop putting that pressure on you to think that you need to be Malcolm Gladwell or somebody. Right. That doesn't mean you're going to be MJ. You have to be you. And do you agree with that, MJ, of staying in your lane and doing what you do best and continue to work on you and not trying to be somebody else?
I definitely feel that way because I use the analogy of McDonald's. And so I would ask people, who would say that McDonald's has the best hamburgers? And nobody would raise their hand. But then I would ask, who would say that McDonald's is successful as a business? The whole class would raise their hand. So that right there will let you know that this isn't a race about perfection. This is about putting one foot in front of the other. And a lot of times what you think is a deficit or what you think is a weakness is actually a strength that you can speak to because there's other people in this world, there's other people in society that can relate to exactly what you've been through or what you're trying to achieve. So whatever position you're in, that's where the strength comes from. It doesn't come from trying to be somebody else. It comes from being exactly who you are.
Man, I'm telling you, my man got it on fire, man. My man got it on fire. I told you MJ was going to bring it, man. MJ is going to bring it today. And, I just want the audience to pick up on that. And, MJ just share with us, too, as well. I just wanted just to go through the hacks. We somewhat talked about it a little bit, but I want to know the hacks of what did you use to get this country? Because you're a busy guy, man. You're a productive guy. Let me put it that way. You're very productive in what you do. And so you got a life. You got other things that you're doing. You're steady going up the ladder. You're getting degrees. This is not small potatoes or small fries, the accomplishments that you've been able to accomplish at this age. So please share with the audience, because some people are thinking to themselves, they don't even have the responsibilities that you have, and they're trying to find out, how do I even get a chapter done? And you're sitting up here with all the workload you have, and you're still getting stuff done. So give us the hacks. Is it getting up early? If it's just a couple chapters a week, give us your strategy, your formula, how you create content.
Well, you actually just mentioned one of them. And I will say that waking up early was one of my best hacks of getting things done. The author Jim Rohn says that if you work heavy on the job, then you can make a living. But if you work on yourself, then you can make a fortune. And so one of the things I started thinking about is, before I give wherever I'm going from 9 o'clock to 5 o'clock my time, let me work on myself. So I started just a little sample size of waking up early in the morning, probably around 6 o'clock, when I used to wake up at 6:30. So I would say that first 30 minutes I would dedicate towards my dream. It's me, this pad, pen, and God and the earth. We're going to work on this thing together. And so one thing that took off is what we mentioned earlier, is that 30 minutes would result, I wouldn't even put a page number or anything on it. I would just, whatever 30 minutes could get me, that's what I got. But then I started noticing how, man, I didn't even have to set an alarm clock to start getting up. So at a certain point, 6 became 5:30. 5:30 became 5 o'clock. And next thing you know, I started getting up every morning, Doc, at 4:30 and literally writing for 1.5 hours, 2.5 hours. And low key, that actually set the compass for how I navigated the day. So me working on myself and working on my dream of being an author, it affected my handshake. It affected when people asked how you were doing, it affected that. It affected my hugs. It affected my conversations. So waking up early in the morning, man, focusing on what you wanted to put into the world before you gave that energy to anybody else was pivotal to finishing my book. And then the second thing I would have to say is, as I was writing and throughout the day, depending on the topic or the theme that I was writing on, I would listen to music that would help fuel me through that particular theme or topic. So I remember one time I was writing on perseverance, and I was listening to Tupac the whole day, and I was like, man, this is actually a good thing to listen to that propels me, that has me thinking consciously and subconsciously, and low key, man, things would just come to me. So it was almost like, you know, they say everybody has sight, but few have vision. And because I would have that music playing and that would be in the back of my mind, sometimes in the front of my mind, I would pick up on things that people might not even think about that could be included in something that I wrote.
Man, I'm about to throw in the towel. I'm about to throw in the towel. I'm throwing in the towel. I'm waving the flag. I'm waving the flag out here, man. You know, hey, I'm doing what they should have did for Apollo Creed. They should have threw the flag.
Throw it down.
Hey, I'm telling you, my man is blowing us up like octane over here, man. I just want to let y'all know what I'm hearing from MJ is what we all need to take note of in our own personal lives. And those are some great hacks. And some people don't get this. MJ get it because he just shared it, and he doesn't even know this about me, but I've shared this as well with other individuals just as confirmation for those who think, oh, that might just be an MJ thing. What does that have to do with anything else? I'm telling you personally, with me getting that first book done, it changed everything. Like, and I'm just going with MJ said, like you said, you heard what he said. This wasn't just the book.
That's right.
Handshakes, hugs, how he interacted with individuals, all changed because of what he had become through the process of the discipline that he had to have in doing the book. And so I want you to think about that, not waking up with the alarm, but it started out with an alarm. Mm-hmm. Then notice, he didn't go from 6:30 to straight to 4:30. It was in increments.
That's right.
And the thing is just as long as you continue to make those, that focused effort to be, you know, intentional on saying, hey, you know what, I'm just going to get better. I don't have to do it all overnight. Rome wasn't made overnight. It wasn't created overnight. I just need to make sure I'm doing something each and every day. I changed as far as my relationships. Like you said, I was a better father. My business blew up after the book. And it wasn't just sales of the book. It's who I became by being a closer, by finishing something. Instead of talking about it, now that was a transferable skill that went into every area of my life. And I'm a part of that club with you. I'm a part of that 4:30 club. 4:30 now automatically. And a lot of times I'm up before 4:30. 4:30 though, boom, I'm up. Boom, I done worked out. I done worked on me. So by the time I even get here with staff or anybody else, I'm already so far ahead because of that. So I want y'all just to pay attention to what MJ is sharing with you. What little increments that you could do in your life that could change your life? You know, as my man says, you know, an ounce of discipline is better than a ton of regret. I think that was Jim Rohn too. You know, so I just want y'all to think about that. MJ, do you agree with that, man, what I'm saying about that? Is that real?
No, it definitely is real, man, because I've been told and what happened to me, it's a difference between having hope and being hope. And I think when people see you in all my faults, you know what I'm saying? And I like to be transparent in a way. So when people see someone like me that can complete this journey, I think it gives them confidence that they can do it as well. And so that was big as far as helping propel me through some of the ups and downs. You might take 2 steps forward, 1 step back. But there'll be little things along this journey. I remember, man, even getting to the point where I wrote acknowledgments, and man, just would cry, bro, just thinking about people who helped me along this way, whose spirit was there with me. It was maybe just me and the computer at the time, but I'm talking, man, from elementary school up into present day when I was writing that, just thinking of all the people who had invested in me and all that wisdom and knowledge and love and care that was going into what I was writing. It wasn't just me writing. It was this collection of people who I was using their energy as well as mine to write something down that would put something positive into the world. So it was incredible, man.
That's fire right there, man. That's amazing. Like you said, it's bigger than that. It's bigger than you, as my man Big Sean say. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's bigger than you. And speaking of that, share with the audience of that experience right there. We know that it was a collection of individuals who writing with you, who poured into you, who shared, imparted wisdom. But what was the response from others when they actually like, whoa, that's my dude right there. MJ is an author. Like this dude I went to school with or went to college with or we ran track or football with. I mean, share that experience, what it meant for you, and then also the feedback that you got from others who read the content or those who just by you getting it done, what that was like for you to experience that feedback from others.
You know, it was interesting, man, because initially my mom would send books to me all the time. All the time, my mom would send books for me to read. And I remember when, before I had stopped and started writing my own book, one time she sent me a book and man, I got mad. I'm like, I don't want to read this, man. Why do you keep sending me this? And really, it had nothing to do with the author of the book itself. It was something in me that I knew I had to birth. And one of the things that was instrumental in it is it was like cultivating a seed, right? So there was some, Jim Collins also talks about how sometimes what's more important than your to-do list is what's not to-do list. And so I started eliminating certain things, man, certain conversations I just couldn't have no more because it was getting in the way of what I was trying to do. Certain things that I would do, I wouldn't go to the spot or the club or nothing like that because I had to get this book done. And I think part of that was people seeing the progress that it took for me to get there. And it's similar to saying, man, it was so pivotal and so amazing because young Jeezy said, if you can hold it in your head, you can hold it in your hand. And to take an idea, to take something that was in here and in here, to actually place it in people's hands, to actually hold something that before didn't have any weight, but was just as real then, was something incredible. So I think it helped people, even if they didn't want to write a book and be an author, it helped them know that whatever they wanted to do, regardless of circumstances, obstacles, that they would be able to do it just by putting one foot in front of the other.
Over here journaling all these quotes and stuff down, man. I got to Hey, I'm writing them all down, you know, difference between hope and being hope. I got, you know, if you can hold it in your head, you can hold it in your hand. I ain't playing over here. Hey, if you're not going to get yours, I'm getting mine. When MJ's speaking, I'm writing it down, you know, and so definitely I want y'all to make sure that you pick up on this information because this is important and this is bigger than books. We talking about the game of life right now. This is just the book is just a byproduct of it.
That's right.
So whatever that thing is for you, it might be something telling you, you know what, to go back and get that GED. Mm-hmm. And you might not know, well, why am I doing it? I'm already working. Why I need to? It's something in you that's gnawing at you to say, you know what, I might need to make that move that I know I should have made. I'm frustrated where I am, but then at the same time, I don't want to move because it's unfamiliar. Right. I love the quote by Bishop T.D. Jakes to say, most people acquiesce to known hells, forfeit unknown heavens. I just want that just to marinate on you a little bit, like a good T-bone steak. You know what I'm saying? Most people are acquiesced to known hells, forfeit unknown heavens, man. That just shows you that no matter how the flames are, no matter if you're in torment, you'll stay there because you're used to it. because it's normalcy to you. So you could have a better opportunity, but you don't even want to give it an opportunity. You don't even want to give it a chance or a shot because I'm so afraid of the unfamiliar, even though the unfamiliar could be something that I'm praying for. That goes back to the difference between having hope and being hope, you know. And so I just want to just thank you so much, MJ, for this pouring into us today, man, and sharing that knowledge with us with being an author. And if you don't mind, where can people pick up the book? Where can they connect with you? Social media handles, whatever you have, man, please share it with us, man, at this time.
Sure, man. It's been awesome being a guest on the show. I appreciate it. I received as well as hopefully I gave. You can find the book Beat Through Why on Amazon.com. And also you can find me on Instagram at Academic Wave. Academic Wave is where you can find me on Instagram. I've been working a lot during this semester on a lot of school stuff, but trust me, I'm about to flood the block come soon. I'm talking about, I'm bringing it, man. Like, it's certain things that are just coming to me. I mean, I'm Twitter fingers right now with what I'm writing in my memos. Just, I can't wait to let that out. So I'm very excited about what the future holds.
All I know is I'm going to pick up the book right now. Like, when we get through this Amazon, when we get through, I'm going right to Amazon to make sure I get me a copy of that joint, man, because I got to have it. And that's just a little bit what you was able to explore. Make sure that you hit my man up. You got to send, we'll make sure that information is in the show notes as well, but connect with him. See, too, because you heard what he just shared in this little time right here. Could you imagine getting this guy to come in and speak to your team, your nonprofit, your organization, your church? Man, you got to get the man in. So, I mean, he ain't even saying nothing to me about it. I'm over here. Hey, I'm over here just being led. So, you know, he can beat me up later on for saying this, but like, bro, y'all got to get this dude in. Somebody got to have this man. We just got a ski taste of what is going on. And this is what the man doing all this work and everything else. He just made time for us to be able to take this time out during the end or whatnot of the semester. So please get this guy in. And you know who you are. We have people who listen to this show, who own companies, who are over student advisors, student advisors, or, student advisors or whatnot, or their coordinators or whatever you are. You know who you are. Definitely reach out. If you need something, reach out to our staff as well. Go ahead, though, MJ.
Yeah, it's something amazing that you just said about contacting me, man. And during the process of writing this book, I went to Amazon and purchased something about how to write a book. And that author actually had a webinar one day. And I tuned into the webinar and asked questions. And the very next day, that author sent me an email saying, hey, man, I appreciate you participating in my webinar. If you ever need any advice on how to complete your book or what the process is like, do not hesitate to give me a shout. And I just want to say this, man, that your help will come as you start moving. Don't wait for it right now. It'll start coming in ways that you can't even imagine. This dude was from Utah. I never met him in my life. All I did was purchase a book and tune in to one webinar late at night, and here he is sharing, giving me dimes. I'm talking about dropping heavy game on me just because I took that one step forward. So if by any means you have any questions or comments or anything, do not hesitate to give me a shout, man, and we can do this thing together, Darren. Again, I appreciate it, brother, from the heart, man. This was dope. This was dope.
No doubt, man. Hey, man, the feeling is mutual, my friend. And I was gonna tell you too, man. I'm gonna check your schedule. I'm gonna get with you offline because I'm gonna be out your way. So I'm working on some things, but I just got to get to the region, man. I need to catch up with you and some others that I need to catch up where just like straight chill time. Like I need to get with my people, man, and just do us, and just like, hey, no schedule. Just like I just need to be able to just soak up, hear what you got going on, see how I can help with that, or what we can bounce off each other, man, and just continue this movement, man, that's going on, man, and get out, man. So any way we can help, man, any avenue, when you do something new, we'll bring you back. Any way we can help assist you, brother, we want to help you, man. Thank you again for coming on the show.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate your time and appreciate your audience, brother.
No doubt, no doubt. Hey, y'all know what? This is the year for your new book. Until next time, be blessed and be great.